You know, something that's difficult, I know, for a lot of filmmakers and for a lot of storytellers and artists is the nature of this industry. An industry that is not based on formulas or science, statistics, maybe a little bit in marketing, but ultimately, whenever you're writing a script, whenever you're directing, and everyone involved, ultimately, it's all subjective. It's all subjective. So how do you find clarity in the midst of an environment which is all based on people's personal preferences and emotions and everything else, all the other varying factors that could contribute to how someone watches a film then? It's tough to navigate, right? Because someone can tell you in a very declarative, absolute statement that you should either do this or do that, or that you are either right or you are wrong. I find it personally liberating, and I hope you do too, to remember that whoever is telling you that, you can either accept that or you can reject that, hopefully kindly, and know that there isn't a right and wrong in this industry. There isn't. Ultimately, your expression on film and the way that you tell stories, yes, it may be true that people do not want to pay money for it and they don't want to see it. And then you have a different problem, an economic problem. But ultimately, at the end of the day, even what the critics say or the IMDb rating or anything else, Rotten Tomatoes, no one can definitively, absolutely, objectively say for all time that the story you told wasn't worth listening to or that you completely butchered the way you told it. But if you do the work, if you work your damnedest, if you put every ounce of you in it, if you strip away the vulnerabilities and the second guessing, and you accept the fact that this is all subjective and you have every right to tell your story the way you want to tell it, passionately, throw yourself into that story and you write the script and you cast it and work with your actors and everything else. And if at the end of the day, people don't like it, that's fine. That's a separate issue, but at least you can look yourself in the mirror and you can say, I told a story well. Telling it well requires a lot of hard work, intentionality, and excellence on set and through all of the processes of production. But the story itself is your story. Other people that tell you how to tell your story, they can tell their own stories. Some of that advice might be helpful. I'm not saying just put your head down and not learn from the many excellent storytellers out there. But if it's something that is so pivotal to you, something that, a kind of story that you always wanted to tell, then tell it and throw yourself at it. Give it passionately and tell the story so well that even the naysayers will be convinced. It's tough, but that's, I believe, the way to deal with this subjective nature of art and just passionately follow your calling and tell your story well.